What's good, everybody? How y'all doing today? Thanks for checking out the Gadget Inspector channel. I appreciate you. Well, today we are taking a look at what I think are two really good 1080p HD webcams. We're comparing what I think is a really good budget-friendly webcam to what has arguably been one of the most popular 1080p webcams on the market for the past few years, at least. In the budget-friendly category, we have the Ausdom 1080p HD webcam, and in the popular / best-selling category, we have the Logitech C920. So we're going to get right into comparing video quality and audio quality of these two webcams right about now. Okay, so I filmed the opening of this video using the Logitech C920. Now we have the Ausdom. So right away, I'm sure you noticed a difference in the two webcams. The Ausdom is zoomed in or cropped in a lot more than the C920. The C920 has a much wider field of view than the Ausdom. Now I have both webcams mounted on the top of my monitor here. So they're side by side. So they're in the same exact position. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put both webcams up on the screen so we can really start comparing the two. Okay, so we've got the Ausdom on the right and we've got the C920 on the left. And as you can see, the C920 has a much wider field of view. I'm going to go right down my bullet list here just to keep everything organized. So the first obvious comparison is price. I've seen the Ausdom as low as $28 all the way up to $34, $35. The C920 is pretty consistently priced out at about 50 bucks. And you can find both of these out on Amazon. I'll put links in the description box. Oh, and by the way, I did a full review of the Ausdom. I'll put a card up here that'll link you right to that video if you want to go check out that review. And the microphone that I'm using right now, I did a full review and setup video on this as well. I'll put a card up here for you to check that out as well. If you go out to watch those, come back and finish this one up. I'll put links to those videos down in the description as well. Now, I haven't done a standalone video on the C920, but you can consider this sort of a review of that webcam because we're going to go through all its features here in this video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is frame rate. The Ausdom only records at 20 frames per second, while the C920 is going to give you a full 30 frames per second. Now, I don't know if you notice any difference in the smoothness of the picture, if there's more or less motion blur, but just take note that there is a pretty big difference in the frame rate coming out of each webcam. Next thing we're going to talk about is color and saturation. Now, to my eye, the C920 produces much better color, much more natural looking, and color saturation is really good. Nothing looks like it's oversaturated or just too overpowering at all. Now, the picture of the Ausdom is really good, but you can kind of tell that there is not as good of a dynamic range. So the contrast is not as good with the Ausdom as with the C920. But you can judge for yourself. I think the video quality is still pretty good. Now, the other thing that's probably really obvious by looking at the two side by side here is clarity. So the C920 is going to give you a much sharper, more crisp and clear video than the Ausdom. The Ausdom is a little more soft, but the picture again is still pretty good. Well, here's where the C920 really separates itself from a budget-friendly webcam like the Ausdom. You can actually change a lot of the settings with the C920. One of the things you can do is you can zoom in. You can actually use your mouse, the scroller on your mouse, to zoom in and zoom out. You can also download an application from the Logitech website, and that will allow you to make even more adjustments to the settings. You can turn autofocus on and off, which, by the way, the Logitech has autofocus, and we'll talk about that more in a second. So as you can see here, you can change your exposure value, you can change the brightness and the contrast, color intensity, and white balance. So you can really tweak this to your liking. And once again, you can zoom in and out from here as well. Okay, so let's go back to the importance of having autofocus with the C920. So right now we have the Ausdom up. Let's say you're doing a live stream, or maybe you're recording a video, maybe it's some type of product review, or it's something that you want to emphasize on the screen, something you want to give the viewers a close-up shot of, and then you want to come in just like that. Now, as you can see with the Ausdom, it's not focusing on something this close to the camera. See that? Now, yes, that is a turkey. It's a turkey. You can't really make it out now. I'm gonna pull it back. All right, now we're gonna switch over to the C920 and you're gonna see how valuable that autofocus is. Okay, so now we've got the C920 up, so we're gonna come right in, zoom in, and there you go. You can see how it focuses right in there. And you can make out that this is a turkey, a bumpy turkey. I don't know what all those bumps and stuff are on it, but nonetheless, I think you get the point. Now we're going to test how the audio sounds coming from each webcam's microphone. So we're starting with the Ausdom. So the audio you hear right now is coming from the Ausdom's microphones. And I believe both of these have two microphones. I grabbed one of my daughter's little books here, so this is what we'll be reading today for our reading sample. Let's go. This old man, he played one. He played knick-knack on his thumb with a knick-knack paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. Quite a troubling story there if you really think about it. All right, now let's switch over to the C920. Okay, now the audio you hear is coming directly from the C920. And once again, and you can see the zoom. So you can see the difference there between the C920 and the Ausdom. See how clear that is? All right, let's go ahead and partake once again of a wonderful classic. This old man, he played one. He played knick-knack on his thumb with a knick-knack paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. Well, that's it, y'all. I think it's easy to see why the C920 has been so popular. It's definitely much better than the Ausdom. You're getting better video quality and better audio quality. But you know what? I think most of you already knew that coming in. What I think this video shows is that if you're looking for a budget webcam, the Ausdom definitely holds its own. Quality is pretty darn good for the price. So for those of you wanting to start a gaming channel or to do live streams or tutorials, stuff like that, I don't think you could go wrong with either one of these webcams. Now, the C920 is definitely going to give you more quality. The Ausdom definitely is lacking in the sound department. But if you pair it with a microphone like this, you'd have a pretty darn good setup. All right, well, if you liked the video, hit me with a like. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. I got a lot of good stuff coming, a lot of great ideas to share with you all. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, join us here on the Gadget Inspector channel. And if you know anybody that might be interested in either of these webcams, share the video with them. And until next time, be good to somebody and be good to yourself. I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.